Well, hello, and welcome back to another podcast episode with Brittney Bundles. You are listening to the Brittney Bundles podcast, where we empower people through entrepreneurship. And today, before we get started with our podcast episode, I do want to let you all know of a great opportunity that I am offering right now for entrepreneurs. So if you are purchasing the dropshipping ebook, Dropshipping Now, Wholesale Later, a dropshipping guide for hair businesses that I wrote, I believe it's a few years ago at this point, you will receive a free shout out for you and your business. So all you have to do is go to my website, which is www.badchickhair.com, select the ebook, check out, and then you will receive an email with additional information on how to redeem your free shout out. So I'm excited to run this. This is going to be running for the entire month of June, so don't miss out on it. And with that being said, I do want to give out the first shout out. So I want to shout out Kanisha and her business partner. Her business is called Top Floor Extensions. The Instagram is @topfloor.extensions. Her and her business partner are both graduates of the Tennessee State University, and Kanisha has a degree in integrated marketing communications. They have collaborated their businesses and now go by Top Floor, the brand. Her business partner has Top Floor Aesthetics, and she's Top Floor Extensions. It's always better at the top. So be sure to check out their Instagram, again, at topfloor.extensions. It is TOPFLOOR.extensions, EXTENSIONS. Be sure to check them out. Go ahead and support. It really helps the entrepreneurial community, and that's what we're here for. So thank you again, Kanisha, and your business partner for purchasing the ebook. I really hope you enjoy it. So we're going to go ahead and get back to our podcast in just a brief moment. All right, so I am back, and today we're going to talk about marketing with no consistent results. There are so many people that can relate to this topic. There are so many people that have thought to themselves and have written me explaining how much they have spent on marketing, how much they have done to advertise and promote their business, and how inconsistent their sales have been. So I want to talk about that today. I want to keep everyone encouraged, and I want everyone to look at this topic realistically. The first point that I want to go over is money does not substitute consistency. Money does not substitute consistency. So what does that mean? That means that you can't just throw money at a problem and expect it to be solved. Not in the way that you're wanting it to be solved, not all the time. Throwing money at something is something that a lot of entrepreneurs do. We hire different marketing teams. We look at different paid ads. We look at things that are going to promote our business. Nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times we rely solely on those streams, on those particular marketing tactics or marketing outlets to do all of the work for us. And for a minute it may work, and then we may notice that it's not anymore. For a minute it may seem like you're gaining traffic or traction with your business, and then it may seem like you're not. But in order to market successfully, in my experience, there's not a one way or one size that fits all for every business. But I can say that consistent marketing across the board has definitely been proven to be more beneficial than just choosing one avenue and riding with that. What do I mean by that? Well, let me give you an example. Let's paint a picture here. So let's say that I'm starting to market my hair company, and I go ahead and I'm paying Facebook ads. And for a minute, it seems like I'm getting a lot more website visits. For a minute, it seems like my orders have increased. And so I keep on paying for Facebook ads, right? Because I want those orders to continue to come in. I want to continue to spread the word about my business. And I ultimately want to continue to grow. I want as many people as possible to know about my business. So I am not really focused on any other aspect of marketing. I am just constantly throwing money into Facebook ads, constantly. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing against Facebook ads. I've used Facebook ads. I've seen results from Facebook ads. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with marketing or spending money to market or advertise, because in reality, a lot of times it does take money to market and promote our businesses. Now, I've gone over different ways that you can promote and market free of charge on my YouTube channel at Brittney Bundles. But there's nothing wrong with paying either. I have definitely paid for paid ads and different marketing strategies and streams for my business. But I have also gotten caught up with the idea that because I'm paying for marketing, I don't really have to go as hard with marketing my business, because now Facebook is going to do it, or Google is going to do it, or a company that I hired is going to do it. And all I'm saying is that paying for marketing or using a certain marketing stream should not substitute the work that you're also doing or should be doing to constantly promote your business. Not if you want to achieve the best possible results. So what I would recommend doing is not just looking at the Facebook ads and that's it. Not just going with a marketing company that you found and that's it. Not just going with Instagram and that's it. But also committing to doing your own work. Constantly spreading the word about your business. Still bringing business cards with you, even though not everyone uses business cards anymore. But still thinking outside of the box as to how can I still market my business? Even though this is going on, what can I do? Also, the next point that I want to touch on is switch it up and try new things. So a lot of times as business owners, we get into the same routine. I know that I'm guilty of it. And we constantly do the same things. So I have a planner and I plan out what I'm going to do to market my business every single month. And because I have planned everything out and I like to stick to my schedule so that I don't miss out anything, or, I don't miss an opportunity, and I stay focused. Sometimes doing that, I have the right intention behind it, but it can start to get too predictable. So even with the ads, for an example, a lot of times there's keywords and places that you can type in to tell the search engine where you want your ads to pop up at. Where do you want this marketing or promotion to pop up at? What state, what age group, what gender. And so sometimes we don't even fool around with looking at the marketing options once we get the marketing campaign up and running. What we do is we continue to throw money, a lot of us, at the campaign. And so if we're noticing that, okay, this month I was able to generate this much traffic and X amount of orders based on the locations that I was marketing to, we want to make sure that we're not getting too comfortable with a certain area or too comfortable with a certain age group, that we're always looking at different ways to expand. And that can be scary for a lot of entrepreneurs, right? Because we hear so much talk about finding our target audience. And don't get me wrong, that's important. I talk about that as well on my YouTube channel. But it's also important to know that sometimes in order to get the best results in the search field with the search engine optimization, it takes changing. It takes trial and error. Changing up some of the age ranges that you have with your marketing team or with your paid ads. Changing up the sex that you're marketing to. Broadening the areas that you're marketing to. So sometimes we become too comfortable. Even if we're not looking at paid ads, sometimes we become too comfortable with posting on social media, and that's it. So not saying that we necessarily have to stop what we're doing or change what we're doing completely, but adding some different things in, some different keywords, changing where we're marketing to, changing how we're marketing, changing maybe how we phrase our post, changing what we post, changing our tag words. All of that can definitely help keep consistent results. The next tip that I want to go over is have a system in place that measures metrics. So a lot of times we find ourselves trying to do the best we can for our business, right? We really try. And we constantly try to find different ways to make sure that we're doing the right thing for our business at the right time. But a lot of times it's really challenging and confusing, if we're honest, to figure out what is the right move now. What do I do now? And without a system that is keeping track of your analytics, it's really, really harder. It's even harder to discover or to determine which way is going to work best for your business to keep the progression and the consistency. What I mean by that is, if you're marketing, but there is no analytics behind what you're marketing, meaning that there's no system where you can actually track and see how well your business is thriving or how stagnant your business is being with this ad or with this marketing campaign, it's not going to really help you determine if you should keep on paying for that campaign, if you should keep on marketing in that way, if it's working or if it's not. And so it's really important to have some type of system that measures your metrics in place. That's one of the reasons that I constantly promote Shopify. Shopify gives a great range of different analytics. Shopify shows who comes from where, how long they stayed on my website, what page they landed on. If they reach out to chat me, what page they're chatting from. So that is really imperative for me and my business when I'm looking at how to move it forward. What should I do next? Because I'm looking at the pattern. I'm looking at what's going on with my business now. I'm looking at how certain marketing campaigns are affecting my business now. Even with newsletters, I still need to know and keep track of how well my newsletters are doing in the grand scheme of my goal. Are they being opened? Are my subscribers clicking on the links? Am I generating orders from my newsletters? So have a system in place that measures metrics. Although I promote Shopify because I have had the most experience using Shopify and I really enjoy using it for my business and my clients do as well. That's not the only metric system that you can get. I believe even Facebook shows some metrics to an extent. I believe Instagram ads show some metrics. I believe different website, e-commerce sites show some metrics. But you want to look for what you can do to show you the full picture of your business. What you can do to get a full grasp of what your business is doing and how well every aspect is affecting it. So the fourth tip that I want to go over is even when you're not actively marketing, there should be multiple platforms in place that are. So like I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, not getting too comfortable with what you're marketing with and what your marketing strategy is now. Still constantly thinking each day, incorporating it into your life. What can I do to spread the word about my business? Even if that means you're going to reach out to 5 people each day via social media. Even if that means you're going to look for different opportunities to promote your business. Similar to what I talked about in the beginning of the podcast, different shout outs, different interviews. But not getting too lax is the key. Not depending on one stream of marketing is key. And even when you're not actively marketing, so you will have days, the majority of us do, where you're sick or where you're under the weather or when you may not have internet access. Let's say there's a storm, God forbid, and all of your power goes out and you're not able to market that day. There should still be systems in place that are set up to market for you. One of the systems that I have in place is YouTube. I have a lot of links in the bios under my videos. So even if I don't post the video today, chances are someone's going to watch one of my 900 videos on YouTube today. And that means they're going to see one of my links. And it's kind of like a numbers game. So that probably means that I can assume someone's going to click on one of the links. So even though I'm not constantly on YouTube 24/7, as long as I'm continuing to produce content and as long as my older content is still available, that is the way that I'm marketing my business without me actively having to be available and working YouTube 24/7. And because I have the older videos, even if I didn't make a video for a month, I'm still able to generate traffic to my website because of the videos that I did produce. Post on my Facebook, post on my Instagram. Even if I don't post today, I still have a catalog of different services and products that I offer that are still being promoted via my YouTube videos and via different collaborations that I've done and different radio interviews. So think for different ways to become creative so that your business is always being marketed, even if you're not actively marketing at that point. Now, like I mentioned before, you do want to strive to market no matter what you're doing. And I try to do that daily. But there should be some measures in place where you are transitioning to working smarter, not harder. Because that is the key. And when I say actively marketing, a lot of people think that, okay, wow, that's going to take a lot of work each day. And really it doesn't. Sometimes all it takes is you reaching out, like I mentioned before, to a few people each day on Instagram. Sometimes it takes you to bring up your business in conversation when you're at school, in class, at work, at the grocery store. Sometimes it takes you wearing a t-shirt with your business name on it, or maybe a bumper sticker on your car. I see so many stickers now of people promoting their YouTube channel. So there's different ways that you can promote and market your business very passively while you're paying for paid ads or while you're using other marketing streams or marketing strategies. But in order to see consistent results, it's not about just doing one thing and stopping, or doing one thing and relying solely on that one thing or one stream or one strategy. But it's about doing as much as we can to make sure that, okay, if this doesn't work, this will kick in. If they don't see my business promotion here, they'll see it here. If they don't know that I'm running a business because of this interview, they'll hear it over here on this interview. So it's always thinking about, what can I do to stay active? I made a video not too long ago on my YouTube channel, probably a few days ago. And again, my YouTube channel is at Brittney Bundles. And it was going over how success is not final. A lot of times we get too comfortable as entrepreneurs and we feel like once we've reached a certain level, that's that. But it's something that we have to continuously work for. Success and also marketing our business. It's constant. It's not necessarily looking at everything that we've put into our business and that's it. But what are we constantly doing? What did we do today for our business? What did you do today for your business? Just being honest. If we self-reflect and look at ourselves and our business and nothing else, and we're honest and we ask ourselves, what did I do today to market my business? A lot of us honestly would say, well, nothing. I didn't do anything today, but 2 weeks ago I did this, but a week ago. And we have to make sure that each day, even if we can't, because life comes up sometimes. Like I said, some days you may feel ill. Some days you may be sick. Some days you may not be able to market. And the more creative you get with your business, you'll find different ways where you can work, like I mentioned before, smarter, not harder. So different ways to generate marketing and advertising campaigns without you necessarily having to be present. But we have social media now. So sometimes it just takes a post, just takes us to stay engaged. And a lot of times customers are coming back to our sites or coming back to our pages and wanting to know if we're still in business, because there are so many businesses that start and stop. And no one wants to spend money with someone when they are unsure of their business status. I don't want to buy something and then have to wonder, well, is this going to be sent to me? Are they still in business? They haven't posted for 2 weeks. So make sure that we're being intentional. We're not relying strictly on one stream, again, of promotion. We're not getting too lax with how successful our business is becoming with the marketing campaign that we're doing. We're looking at the analytics. We're changing things up. We're not becoming too routine. And we're constantly, daily, striving for different ways to promote our business and to get our business name out there. When I used to work in a call center, one thing that my boss used to say a lot is you want to make sure that you are working today as if you don't have anything in the bank from yesterday. Meaning I want to give everything today as if I don't have anything right now. A lot of times we work harder when we know that we need to. It's different if you already have the dream car and you're working, to maintain it versus if you're working to get it. A lot of times when you're working to get it, that fire is just there. So training our mind to constantly keep up the consistency, even once we reach a success, is really going to help us push ourselves in our business to heights that a lot of us wouldn't have imagined. And the last point that I want to go over is even if you do everything right, sales may still be inconsistent. So to combat that, continue marketing for best results. Don't get discouraged. Have another stream of income and stay on top of your metrics. So even after you do everything that you're supposed to do with your business, even if you take all the steps that we went over in this podcast and you're applying them, there still may be a time where you notice that your business is inconsistent with sales, inconsistent with how many people are visiting your website. And for a lot of us, I used to say this about myself, but working with other entrepreneurs, I have found that it's not just me, but a lot of people think this way. Business is kind of like a puzzle to me. It's like an ever-changing puzzle. So even once you think that you found a piece, if it doesn't fit, the key is to not get discouraged and to know that it will all come together and to have faith that it will all work, despite what it's looking like now, despite how many pieces are in front of you. We have to keep working at it and seeing what piece fits. And then once we find the piece that fits, it's like an ever-changing puzzle. So then something else changes. And now we have to figure out the next piece. But if you look at it as a challenge and not as a means of discouragement, you can find yourself having a lot of fun with your business. I find it really fun and challenging to find different ways to stay innovative, to find different ways to stay relevant, to find different ways to still utilize the tools that I have, to find different ways to promote and market. So even if you do everything right, like I said before, yes, you still may notice inconsistency with your business. But to combat that, the first thing that I read off was continue to market. Don't give up. Continue to do it. Don't get discouraged. Again, don't give up. Know that it is relatively normal to experience a fluctuation in business, depending on the time of the year, depending on how you're marketing, depending on who you're marketing to, depending on the search engine optimization. There's a lot of factors that goes into being able to continue to sustain an online business that a lot of people don't think about. And we're going to go over some more of those online business search engine optimization resources and information that I have gathered and I've learned in some later podcast episodes. So make sure that you're staying tuned. And then have another stream of income. So while you're working your business and while you're waiting for it to get to the point where even if it's inconsistent, you still are generating enough money to be able to sustain your living expenses, have another stream. And even if you are at the point where your business is generating enough money to sustain your needs and surpass your needs and your wants, still have another stream. Have another stream of income always. We don't want to rely too much on one stream, period. That's with marketing, that's with advertising, and that's also with income. We want to make sure that we're being very well-rounded and that we're looking at all opportunities always. But I did want to touch on this subject because this is a subject that a lot of entrepreneurs face. Wanting to know, why am I marketing? Why have I spent this much in ads and I'm not getting consistent results? Why did I pay for this promotion and now I don't have any sales? Sometimes, like I said, you can do everything right and still experience inconsistency. But I'm the kind of person where I like to make sure that I'm checking off every single box that I can. So I ask myself, did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do this? Did I do that? And if I can answer yes, then I can assure myself that, okay, we're doing everything right, but the business is still inconsistent. So then I go back to the mind frame of looking at my business as that ever-changing puzzle. So what other piece can I find? Not saying the pieces are wrong, not saying I have a piece to the wrong piece to the puzzle, but just saying that it's going to take some more creativeness, some more time, maybe some more focus to figure out what piece actually fits into this slot today. and running with that, having fun with it. So I really hope that this podcast episode helps someone out there, gave you all encouragement. If you do want to be a guest on the Brittney Bundles podcast, I would love to have you. Be sure to reach out to me. My email address is the letter B, Talks, Talks, @yahoo.com. Please also follow me on social media. I am on YouTube at Brittney Bundles. That is Brittney, Brittney, Bundles, Bundles. I'm on Instagram, Brittney_Bundles, Facebook, Brittney Bundles, and Twitter, Brittney Bundles. Until next time, I'll talk to you all in the next podcast episode.